I open up real quickly to talk about the Juvenile Improvement Program. 6 weeks have come and gone just like this, just like I told y'all when I first met you guys. I believe it was in that 101 room that we were in, or you were in earlier. But I remember when we first met, there seemed to be a lot of long faces, and being people upset and anxiety in the room, and people didn't want to be there at the end of the day, but you stuck with it. So congratulations to you, young adults, young participants, right? You joined, you walked into uncharted territories, right? In other words, you didn't know what you were walking into, whatever misconceptions or pre-notions you had before you walked in there about the JIP program, about this program. I'm sure there was a lot going on through each and every one of your minds. Even on our end too, we didn't know what we were dealing with. Like, again, we were walking into uncharted territories ourselves, right? Trying to observe from the outside what type of individuals you were. And I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna be honest with you, like I always am and like I've always been. There was a few of you where we thought from day one, like, oh man, this guy's not gonna make it. You guys probably know who we're talking about. But anyway, we learned to embrace, we learned to be patient, we learned to love at the end of the day. So this actually taught us a lesson too. It doesn't matter how old we are, right? There's always room for growth. There's always room to gain new experiences, right? And learn from your errors. Trial and error, remember that, right? I guess the whole point of that, more of that piece is, do not commit the same mistake, right? Mistakes that we've made in the past, where we've given up too fast on somebody. Previous programs, this is obviously the 22nd class that has come through here. So we've dealt with a lot of youth in this last 2 years. And there was a lot of them where we for whatever reason, dysfunctional behavior, bad attitudes that they gave us through the door. Of course, y'all don't know us, so yeah, that's, that should be expected, right? But through the door, me and my staff, we have failed in certain areas. We gave up on a young adult that we shouldn't have, right? For whatever reason, whatever resistance was there from that individual, right? Whatever attitude they gave us, the same attitudes that they probably give at home to their loved ones, to their mother, they came to this door and they gave it to us. And it frustrates us as a staff not being able to see the future, not being able to know how the situation is going to unfold. But at the end of the day, we can't give up. Our staff, we cannot give up and believing that there's hope in each and every one of us. There was hope for me. Who would have thought that, right? You guys know my story, right? There was hope for us. There's hope for everybody at the end of the day. Some of us do require a little bit more than others, granted. And then some of us on our end require for us to have a little more patience, right? Because, we're only human. Our emotions get pushed too. Our buttons get pushed too, right? But it's been a lovely experience for me personally, and I believe my staff too, from the beginning, 6 weeks ago when we met, and it seems like it was just yesterday, but 6 weeks flew by so fast, but it was an awesome experience, We got to experience a little bit more with some of you than others, and we wish that, and we hope that it's not over with after this, that we'll continue to be in your lives, that we'll continue to see you guys. Cicero's small, so we will cross each other's path. So like I told Alex a couple minutes ago, don't act brand new when you see me in Walmart. You know what I'm saying? Say what's up to me. Go up to me. You know what I'm saying? Give me a hug, right? But we hope that we continue to stay in your lives and you continue to stay in our lives and help us to continue to grow. And we help you guys to continue to grow because that's what it's all about, right? Man sharpens man as iron sharpens iron, right? It's a biblical verse. But it speaks to that nature. We have to help one another at the end of the day. We have to help each other in times of need. So that's very important. But again, a lot of lessons have been learned. A lot of lessons will continue to be learned, right? We'll do what we got to do on our end to solidify our stance in your life, and we ask that you do the same. Continue to do what you got to do. Take the information that you were given the last 6 weeks, and some of you paid attention. Most of you did. Most of you took notes. Most of you, whether you wanted to be there or not, something stuck to you. Something tugged at your heart. Something pulled at your spirit. I don't know what it was, right? To each his own. But take whatever it was, whatever made sense to you in that room, because there was so much information and obviously and unfortunately not enough information. We didn't have enough time in 6 weeks to teach you every single thing life is going to throw at you. But for the most part, you got basic fundamentals, right? And that's what we try to give you is basics, fundamentals, basic survival tactics that you could take with you so that you could be a better man, a better woman at the end of the day, a better son, a better father, a better wife, a better daughter, better sister. Basic fundamentals in life. Take that stuff and run with it, apply it, engrave it in your hearts and in your mind. That information that you were giving is so vital It was a blessing. It's a blessing to us to be able to share that with you. That's why we come here, and that's why we're dedicated to the stuff that we do. And I'm not tooting our horn, and I'm not trying to say that we're better than anybody, because we're not. But it's us acknowledging the reason why we are here, the reason why we're in your life, the reason why I got a second and third and fourth chance at life. I see it every single moment of my life. I see why I, me, Eddie, why I am here. Why is it so vital for me to continue in these type of programs and continue to be involved in people's lives? A vital component to what goes on around us. So take that information, please. Take it back with you. That moment of truth arises in your life. Think, stop for a second, pause. I know life moves so fast for all of us, especially in this day and age with technology, social media, and everything else. Life moves so fast, but we have to stop, pause for a second, take a deep breath, inhale, exhale. Think about your decision and what you're about to engage in, what you're about to do. What are the repercussions of your action? Stop moving so fast. Stop this YOLO mentality and I don't give a care and I don't give a this and I don't give a that. Just stop. You have to care. It's your life. It's those around you. It's the future, your future, right? Your babies in the near future. You're going to have babies. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. You're going to be young moms, young dads. It's going to happen. All that's going to come to pass in your lives. Take some of this information and try to save yourself the heartache. Are you going to be able to duck every issue and problem in life? No, you're not. Are you going to go through bumps in the road? Yes, you are. Are you going to struggle through obstacles? Yes, you are. But at least now you have some basic information to help you navigate through those problems when those problems arise. At least you got a choice now. At least you can't say, man, I didn't know this was going to happen, or I didn't know no better. See, now you know better. You know better. You should know better. When those times come, and they're going to come. They've been coming. They came before you went to the program. They came while you were in the program, constantly going through problems. Some of us, even when we went to bed last night, there was problems. When we woke up this morning, there was problems. There are going to continue to be problems when you walk out these walls. Problems are part of life. It's how we deal with those problems. You cannot mask your pain with drugs and alcohol. See, that's what the world's going to tell you. That's an easy solution and an easy way out. But at the end of the day, when we look through that problem, when we look through that situation, is that really a solution? It really isn't. We talked about that. We talked about the importance of why y'all can't get sprung out on these drugs. You can't. And I didn't hate on anything or any what anybody's out here doing. Never did that. No hateration ever came out of our mouths in these 6 weeks. What we try to do is edify you and empower you to make a better choice. At the end of the day, what benefits me? And I say that with the notion that what benefits you at the end of the day? Is it beneficial for you to do this or do that? To go left or to go right? To make this choice or to make that choice? Does it benefit you at the end of the day? Look at your situation. Are you financially sound to be turning up every day? No, you're not. Let's be honest with ourselves right now. Not even in my situation, in my stance, with my financial income, right? And I'm not saying I'm rich, but I'm not saying I'm the poorest man on earth. But not even in my situation, in my financially sound to be turning up every single day. I can't do that. That's not reality. But see, the world's going to tell you different. The world's going to preach to you different. They're going to make it seem like that's okay because the world is designed for us to fail. We broke that down for you in layman's terms the best way that I possibly can. Break that down for you to understand that the odds are stacked against us. We're not supposed to succeed. It's not meant for me and you. We're supposed to be failures. We're supposed to be statistics. We're supposed to be consumers of what they are feeding us. Doesn't have to be that way. Look between the lines, read between the lines, look at what's happening all around us. And I feel your pain because, yes, the odds are stacked against us all. It's everywhere. Well, how can I get away from it when it's everywhere? Well, be conscious, self-conscious for yourself. First and foremost, know your self-worth. Know how valuable you are as a person. Know why you are here. You could have died a long time ago. You didn't have to be born. But somebody chose to keep you around. Somebody chose to get you to where you're at right now. We talked about that. You were nothing. You came from nothing. Think far back. Remember, I took you on that journey in that moment in that room. I took you as far back as I possibly could, right? Think we were all there at one time. Somebody cared about you. Even though if their lives were dysfunctional, parents, right? Even if their lives at that moment were not right. But they still chose and loved you enough to keep you around, to save you, to conserve you, to have you, to raise you to this point. Somebody loved you. We talked about all these things. You got to show a little appreciation. You got to show a little respect for those who have been loving and respecting you before you were even born. That's just a reality, right? So we talk about all these things, and I hope and pray that a lot of this stuff has stuck in your mind. You cannot become dependent on some type of artificial substance out there in this world to deal with your issues and problems. You have to learn and adapt how to face them head on and how to deal with them, because they're going to come. They're going to be nonstop. And every time they come, you got to deal with them head on, and you got to move on to the next. Just like that, move on to the next. If you get stuck in that cycle of trying to mask your pain with drugs and alcohol, guess what? You're digging yourself a deeper ditch. And we talked about the crackheads, and we talked about the dope fiends, and we talked about the alcoholics. We got a lot of them in our families. Look at them. You think they're different than us? No, they're not. They just made a bad choice. They try to mask their problems. And look at what happened to them. What do you think is going to happen to you? It's going to be no different. You have to understand that. You got to grasp it for what it is. You got to stop thinking that you're better, because you're not. You got to stop thinking that you're different, because you're not. We talked about this. Everyone who's out here struggling in this world with drug addiction, alcoholism, abuse, right? Whatever their situation is, right? They were just like us at one point or another in their lives. Something happened and they made a wrong choice. Something happened and they masked the pain. Some of you are already masking your situation. Well, I'm stressing. Well, my girlfriend left me. Well, I didn't do good in school. Well, my mom got me upset. Well, my teacher got me upset. I can't cope with this. I can't cope with that. Already you're making up poor excuses. You're failing. You're setting yourself up for failure. Already in this young age that you're in right now, life has not even begun for you, and you're already making up excuses to pop this, to smoke that, to snort this, to snort that, to drink this, to drink that. It's already unfolding in your life. Can you see your future? Are you a visionary? If you're not, you need to learn to become one, because that is your future. You're doing it now. What are you going to look like 5 years from now? What are you going to look like 10 years from now? What are you going to look like 15 years from now? Are you going to be that uncle that's still living with his mom? Are you going to be that man that's living on the streets? That woman who's selling her body? What are you going to be? It's going to be you. Look at them. History repeats itself. Look around you. We are not no different than the people who have come before us. You have to look at how did they fail? How did they give up? What killed their drive? What killed their motivation? You have even some of the most strongest minds, the most energetic people on earth. Innovative, creative, all this energy. They didn't want it to become something. They loved money. They loved ambition. They loved achievements. They loved goals. And because they began to mask their issues, now look at them. They never got to where they could have been, right? Their full potentials and their dreams were killed just like that. That's what's going to happen, guaranteed to you. Look at your situation right now. You're scratching the surface. You're barely starting in this game. Smoking a little of this, drinking a little of that, popping a little of this. It seems very innocent right now, but it's not going to stay innocent. I promise you that. You are not no different. We talked about how the body develops tolerance for what you ingest. Right? You're smoking a little bit, you won't be smoking a little bit. You're going to be smoking a lot of it, and it's only going to increase. Everything increases, right? You're drinking a little bit now, guess what? Alcoholics started that way too. Look at them now, right? You're not no different. You're going to become that. You're smoking a little cigarette here, a little cigarette there. You're bumping shorts of a Newport here and there. Well, it's not going to stay that way. We talked about these things. It's going to happen to you. You have to pump the brakes in your own life. You have to. As much as mom yells and screams and turns blue at the face and foams at the mouth, at the end of the day, you have to do it. Mom can't watch you 24/7. Dad can't watch you 24/7, right? Let's be honest with each other. Somehow, some way, you're going to be alone. Somehow, some way, you're going to be presented with negative options, things that are not in your best interest. And you're not going to see it at the time because it's going to come in the form of a friend, in the form of a boyfriend, in the form of a girlfriend, in the form of a BFF, my homie, my boy, my guy. It's going to come in a way where you're not going to be able to see it. But you have to see it, because if you don't see it, it's going to hurt you at the end of the day. You have to. You have to. So I hope, for whatever this conversation is worth, I hope that somebody in here received something, and I know you did. I know you did. I know everybody in here has received something in these last 6 weeks.